And now with the future of LLMs, we have that on CPU, we have that on TPU, we have that on Godi, we have that on GPU, NVIDIA, AMD. We recently have Google releasing Google AI Edge, where they can run a Gemma maybe 3N or Gemma wherever, Gemma 3 series, I'd say. GGUF version, it seems like, run on Android, on their app, the Google AI Edge. What's your take on it? Would it take a new type of hardware to run inference on mobile or on edge hardware, or we could just use the Snapdragon that we have in all our phones, and with smaller models that can fit like 1 billion. Especially there's a sort of a technique from Gemini lately where they have it's like a active, I wouldn't call it expert, but they have like a 1 billion parameter active, and then like the third three or four, the two others are not active all the time, are not loaded. So it's not expert, but like it's their own architecture where you want to have everything loaded by default when you do the inference. So what do you guys think of like maybe the future version of inference on edge? Would it be trying to adapt to the current hardware, or we will come with like a new series of hardware that would be like specifically designed to run inference on them, and not something that used to be run for graphical rendering and crypto, and then also, since it's parallelizing operations, use it for inference? What do you guys think? I'm starting with Colin. Do you think it's are you seeing, do you expect this to happen where we'll see like a new generation of hardware, or like the model would just try to adapt to?
Well, we already have, to some effect, we have these NPUs that come in smartphones these days and in laptops and such. But I don't think they're particularly utilized, at least not from a like a language model perspective. They're used more for what people would actually call like AI algorithms, and like these days it's called AI, but before it would just be called a neural net. So I don't know if maybe those NPUs will evolve. We definitely have more of a focus on CPU and GPU at this time. ARM has some great optimizations. GPUs are obviously extremely good in general at running models, but it wouldn't surprise me if the NPUs kind of kept evolving and kept growing to cover a larger amount, and maybe even start just running the large language models purely on the NPU. I think Apple's probably going to be the first one to do that because they've got the whole vertical integration going on. But Google designs their own, their G tensor. Maybe they'll have it with the G6 or something, and they'll start doing massive NPUs with full access to memory as well.
Interesting. Well, Apple is even in Mistral right now. They're into acquiring them, so that would be maybe a nice marriage. But look, that begs the question: if we have like a new generation of NPUs, would we have like dedicated models for mobiles eventually, or it would be like just one version and then?
There might be an idea of trying to have multiple different models that are like each good at a specific task and like loaded up on the fly. I think there was something from Apple about almost a LoRa sort of situation where they had one like main model and then adapters that specialized it at specific tasks. I don't know if that's strictly necessary. Like, models are getting really, really smart these days, and with things like MCP, like tool usage becoming much more standardized and much more prevalent, I think having one smarter model with maybe some kind of adapter LoRa to push it in one direction or another, combined with tool use, is really what it's going to look like in the future.
Interesting. Eldar, any word?
Yeah, maybe just to add on top of that, like the Apple example is a really good one, but I think Character AI actually did a really large scale deployment of this specific use case where you have a ton of different LoRa adapters. So you have a backbone model, which is always there, but then you just do hot swapping of the LoRa adapters, which are fine-tuned for specific. I think in their case, it's like different characters for their app. But yeah, you just kind of flip over the adapters based on the application.
So the adapters will it just be targeting a specific task or a specific hardware?
Yeah, I don't know the details, but for example, like in the character AI, like you can have a LoRa adapter which represents, I don't know, Cristiano Ronaldo. The other adapter represents like Lionel Messi, and the third one represents some other like celebrity. And then based on the user that you're interacting with, you're just like loading the different adapters, while your backbone model is always there. So you don't need to spend the time to load the larger one. Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's cool.